video, I will show you a very simple strategy you can use to trade futures on BYBIT without losing money. And when I said without losing money, if you come to my Twitter page, the same strategy I use right here, I also tend to make over 1,121% ROI in futures trading. And if you also come to my XT exchange account, the same strategy I use, I'm also up in 15% ROI, right? And this is to tell you that this particular strategy I want to show you works 100%. So you want to make sure you watch this video to the end without skipping any part if you want to make money on BYBIT without losing money trading future. So starting with step one, you're going to be needing a BYBIT account. And to get a BYBIT account, if you're a newbie who don't have a BYBIT account, you want to click the first link in the description section, copy the link, and it's going to bring you to an interface looking like this. All right, so when you're on this interface, this is how the interface is going to look. Because I'm a partner in BYBIT, that is why it shows Wet Lambo invites you. Now all you want to do is to just skip all this part, go to where it says email or mobile phone number. So if you have your mobile number, you can use it to set up a BYBIT account. But if you don't have, I would prefer you tend to use your email. And let's say you want to use an email, I'm going to enter an email randomly. Let me enter a random email real quick. Right, and the next thing I want to do is to enter a password. Now the password range from 8 to 30 characters, at least one uppercase letter, at least one lowercase letter, and at least one number. I'm going to go ahead and do the exact same thing. Right, and once you do that, that will enable you to claim a welcome bonus. And all you have to do is to make sure this code you're seeing right here is being shown. And the next thing you want to do is to click to get the gift. And by you checking this box, you're going to be getting the gift. I'm going to click on accept all and click on get my welcome gift. And what will happen, this will load up real quick and then get my account set up. All I'll have to do is to complete this puzzle. By completing this puzzle, I will slide to this to match with this other edge. And once I get it matched, the next thing that will happen, they will send me a verification code on my Gmail. I'll go to my Gmail and get this verification code within the timestamp being given to me. All right, so right here on the Gmail, this is going to be the code. I'm going to copy it. And once I copy it, the next thing I want to do is to come to the website and also paste the code. And once I paste the code, automatically this is going to load up. And the next thing going to happen, you're going to tell me, thank you for signing up. And all I have to do is sit down, go to either my App Store or my Play Store, depending on the device I'm using. The next thing I want to do is to hit on App Store, and you're going to bring me right here to the App Store. And all I have to do is to go ahead and log in. And by logging in, I'm going to enter the Gmail, which I use in setting up. I'm going to also enter the passcode. And I'm going to hit on login. And once I hit on login, I will have to complete this captcha, this puzzle. And once I do that, the next thing that will happen, this is going to load up immediately, and this is going to be account. And the next thing I'll have to do is to then complete my KYC. Completing my KYC, I'll go ahead and hit on verify now. And once I hit on verify now, it will automatically choose the location. Click on this right now. I have confirmed on my selection. Click on confirm, and the next thing I have to do is to verify proof of identity, and that way I can be able to deposit, trade, and do P2P trading. I'm going to click on that. The next thing that's going to happen, so I can choose either BVN, ID card, driver license, passport, residence permit. And once I tend to choose any of these, let's say I click on BVN and choose confirm, what will happen, this will open up another interface for me. I will just close all countries except USA, click on continue, and then the next thing I want to do is to click on continue, then fill up this form, click on continue, and I will have my account verified in less than 2 minutes, right? And once I'm done with that, the next thing I want to do is to go ahead and deposit USDT from and start trading. And let's say you want to deposit, all you want to do is to choose P2P trading. Click on it. Before you click on P2P trading, you must have make sure that your account is verified. Then the next thing you want to do is to then go ahead and fund your assets, right? All you want to do is to go ahead and buy, choose the amount. Let's say you want to buy 50,000 naira, right? Click on confirm, and you see the guys who are running ad on 50,000 naira, and all you have to do is to go ahead, click on buy. And once you click on buy, I'm unable to buy because I'm not verified. So I'm going to log into my other account and guide you through how you can buy USDT and start trading futures trading using the strategy I will show you in this video. And if that interests you, endeavor you're liking this video, sharing this video, and also most importantly, subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell notification, and also comment down below BYBIT futures trading. Alright, so I've logged into my verified account. You can see verified ID, and if I want to do P2P, and if it was basically I already have 79 US dollars as I said. Let's say I want to do P2P, I'll go to P2P trading. then enter 50,000 for instance, and what will happen, click on confirm, and then all I'll have to do, choose on all payment method, and then click on confirm, and then maybe choose any of these guys. I want to make sure you choose the guys that have at least 100 orders and above, and then their percentage should be at least from 80% to 100. Then let's say this guy 117%, I'll choose on buy, and then the next thing I want to choose is to enter the amount again, which is 50,000 naira, right? And that will give me like over 30 USD. And trust me, with 30 USD you can make money with trading, futures trading, even $1,000 and above. And the next thing you want to do is to hit on buy, and once you hit on buy, they will generate an account number for the guy who is promoting this ad, and then you have to send the exact amount of 50,000 naira, and it will fund you 30 USDT on your account. And once he fund you 30 USDT, the money will be right here sitting on your funding account. And what you want to do is to then transfer the money from funding to unified trading, which is where you will be trading your futures trading. And how do you tend to do that? All you want to do is to click on funding, and then you choose the assets, let's say USDT, and the next thing you want to do is to then come right here saying transfer, click on transfer, and then you now choose the account from funding to unify. Let's say you want to choose maybe USDT, and then next thing you want to do is to enter the amount. Let's say you want to transfer maybe 30 USD as it said. Then I'm going to click on confirm. Now once I transfer that, what will happen, the money will move from my funding to right here, and on my unified you can see I have 30 USDT. So now you've done that, it is the first stage of you setting up an account, doing your KYC and depositing USDT to your account is done. Now what is the next phase is for us to start trading futures with this 30 USDT you have on your unified account. And where do you tend to do that? All you want to do is to go to where it says trade, click on trade, and to bring you to this interface. And when you come to this interface, this is what the interface is going to look like. And you can see at the top right here, it have convert, sports, futures, options, margin, and also explore and P2P. Now all you want to focus more on is that of the futures, right, which is what we're going to be doing basically. And mind you, if you also want signals on how to trade futures, I also drop signals on my Telegram channel, which is going to be the third link in the description section. But other than that, if you also apply the same strategy which I'm going to show you, just scanning through this in chart right now, you can know what to do, how to enter the trade, and also make money for yourself. So basically I showed you guys initially a trade which I as well make over 1,000 ROI on X, which is this. And if I click on it, or the name of this trade is called ENA USDT. So if I go back to my BYBIT, all you want to do once you want to search for any pair you want to analyze, you have to come to the top right here, and I'll say you're seeing this 3 column, click on it. And once you click on it, the next thing you want to do is to go ahead and search on the token. Now I'm going to search ENA USDT, right? And this is it. And what's going to happen, you're going to load up this way. Now if you're trading or analyzing the market yourself, it's best you tend to use these 3 models of time frame, ranging from 1 day, 4 hours, 1 hour. Now this 1 day, you tend to know what is happening in the market, where the structure is coming from, how is the market, is it bullish or is it bearish, right? Now this is why you tend to use the 1 day time frame. And after analyzing the market 1 day, the next you have to look at for 4 hours, and if your analysis align with 1 hour, then you're good to go to enter that particular trade. Is that easy? Now looking right here on 1 day, if you look basically on the chart, you want to see that it's looking pretty cool, and this is a bullish chart. And now I want to show you a past event that's happened using the same strategy I'm going to show you, and then tend to guide you through in a future token which I'm going to show you in this video. So because we're using our mobile phone, we're not going to be seeing every stuff in this chart bit by bit. So what I'll have to do, I'll go ahead and landscape my mobile phone, which is what you're going to be doing if you want to use your mobile phone to analyze. You're going to go ahead and landscape. And how do you tend to do that? You're going to come to the top right here, and I say choose where it says drawing. Click on drawing right here, and you're going to landscape. And right on the landscape, this is what you're going to look like real quick. And if you look basically from a 1 day, this is giving us a bullish trend right now. And what has happened lately, coming right here on 4 hours, there's stuff that's happened. Now what happened, if you come right here, the first thing you want to look out for is the lower low. Now if we all know that market go higher high, higher low, 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 right? And higher high, right? Why? If it's on a bearish market, it's a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and stuff like that. Now if you see that the market is in a bullish trend, then you want to look for the higher low. And looking from this chart right now, the higher low right here is this one basically. And what you want to do is to get a drawing trend line, which is this. Click on it and then stick it right here and then drag it to the edge, right? And once you've done that, then you leave it that way. Then the next you want to do, after you've gotten your higher low, then you want to look out for a break of structure from where it as well, take off from. Now looking from here, basically after this higher high, it break out this structure which you're seeing my cursor on, which is, I'm going to get this arrow, then paste it from here, and then what happened, I'm going to drag it to this place. So this is the structure it tends to break. And once I've seen that you're breaking that structure, then the next one to look is the second low, and then we're going to call it a B. Now once you see the first structure, this first higher low, we're going to call it an A. And after that, it has broken a structure, then we're going to be looking for another low, then call that low a B after it has broken another structure. Is that easy? Now what happened right here, this went from here down, which is this. I'm going to get this arrow and as well paste it right now and then drag it to the end, right, to this zone. Right now we're going to call this a B, right? And what happened after it has gotten to this zone, what happened, it now take out this structure, it now take out this one which is the second high, and we're going to slide this, then put our cursor right here and then call it this way, and we're going to call this one our C. Now you've gotten your ABC model, then the next you want to wait for is for any time C take out this B, then we'll go ahead and buy. And what happened at this point, at this zone, this B take out this zone which is right here. All you want to do is to enter from this zone, then make your stop loss the higher low, and what happened, boom, it take out this high, making us money. And if I come to my X account, this was the same trade I took, and I made that 1000x ROI you saw on my Twitter page, which I post, which is this particular trade right now. And you can see this setup basically, and then you see the ROI. Is that easy? And this is the exact same thing you're going to be doing right here with this particular strategy I just showed you, right? And all you want to do, if you tend to use it very well, basically you're going to be making a lot of profit for yourself. Right now I'm going to show you using another trade and then guide you through how to enter the market, how to as well place a trade using BYBIT. Now I'm going to use this one called the TIA. All right, so right here on the TIA, this is also another pair which I'm anticipating is good setup on. And when you're right here, the first thing first, like I said, we're going to come right here and also click on the pencil icon, click on drawing, and to be landscape. Once the landscape, we want to make sure it's on the 1 day time frame, and then we want to look what's happening right here. So this is a bearish trend from this zone right now, which is to say we're going to be anticipating a bullish from this zone. What will happen, we're going to change it to 4 hours and see what has been happening lately. Now looking right here, the next we want to look at for is the higher low. Now where is the higher low? From this zone to here is this. Right now what we want to do is to get our trend line right here, click on it, then keep it from this where the higher low is, then mark it down towards the zone. Right, so what happened, the trader went to the top right here and break this particular structure, which is this, to this zone, right? And once it broke that structure, what happened, we're going to call this our A, we're going to call this our B, right? And after which, the next thing you want to do is it's then give another low, which is this, right? And we're going to call this low right here from this zone our B, right? And after this, calling this our B, what are we anticipating is C. And what happened, it took out this high right here, you're seeing, and then making this our C, right? Now, which is to say A, B, and C, right? Now after which, what are we expecting for any time this B tend to take out, what will happen, we buy, right? Is that easy? Now what's happening is very close to taking out this B. I want to see a trade very close in taking out the B. What you want to do is to enter a limit order so you don't miss out on the trade. Is that easy? And what do you have to enter? Like I said initially, you make the lower low, which is 2.1430, your stop loss, and then you enter from where this zone is, and from this zone is 2.3617. And how do you enter that? All you want to do, I'm going to make this back to portrait. So now is on portrait. Basically you can see with the trade looking pretty cool. So you can see the higher low. It broke this structure right here, which is this. It broke this structure. It went to the top, and then it came back to this zone, making this a B. And what happened? It take out this structure again, and it came down to this zone. You can see. So while we're expecting this to take out, once this is taken out, then we enter. So for us not to wait, like I said, all you have to do is to just come to trade, right? And then making this 2.1809 your higher low, which is your stop loss, and then entering from this zone 2.3 and come to trade. For you to come to trade, this is how their interface is going to look. Now when you're right here, you're going to see something called cross, and you're going to see something called 10x. Now this 10x is leverage. This tells you how many times your money going to double if you're on profit, and how much you're going to be losing if you're losing the trade. Is that easy? And then all you have to do, I always tend to use 20% of the profit, or 50%, depend on the risk manager you want to use. So if you want to use 100x, is on you. So basically I'm going to say I want to use 50x. However, this is very high if you're a newbie entering the market. So it's best to use a very low risk so you won't lose all your money if you have a low account, right? The next thing you want to do basically is to then allow this on cross. Now cross is if your trade is not going your way, it starts using the USDT available to keep the trade running if the trade is still a valid trade, or you're still anticipating it to go to the top. Why isolated is you once the trade hits the exact stop loss, the exact amount you use for the stop loss, it will close the trade and then you will liquidate immediately. So it's best you tend to use cross. However, most newbies tend to use isolated not to lose a lot of money, right? Other than that, next one you want to see right here is the market order. Now what is market order? It tells you that you are executing the trade at the current market price, right? That is what market order means, right? And if I click on it, basically you see stuff like limit order. Now limit order is we are waiting and anticipating a trade to get to a particular zone before it executes any particular trade. Now they also have conditional, they also have chase limit order, they also have scaled order, TWAP, and iceberg, right? All these are like not really important for now, but the basic two you need to know is that of limit and market order, right? Now all you want to do, let's say you want to enter a limit order, you just come right here, click on limit. So the next thing you want to see is price. So this price is telling you the exact amount you want the trade to execute from. And if I go to the chart, basically where I want it to execute is from this zone, let's say 2.36. I'm going to come back to the trade and enter 2.36 and then come back right here, then enter how much. Let's say I want to use maybe $300, right? Now see the reason why I said I'm using $300. Now you want to know that futures trading gives you a loan to use higher amount of USDT to trade than using a little USDT of your assets to execute the trade, right? They give you bigger amount of USDT, but it's costing you a very little amount of USDT to make that trade. That is what future trading is. So looking right here, this $300 I use, this is going to be costing me over $6.32, right? Let's say I use maybe $500, right? This is to say I'm going to be using $10.54, right? So most of the time, if you tend to use much asset when you know that your amount of asset is not big, maybe your amount is very low, you're going to be losing out on a lot of money. So I'm going to make this $300. That's average, right? The next thing I want to do is to then enter my TP right there. Now what's my TP? I'm going to click on it, then I'm going to come back right here and look what my TP is on the chart. So I'm going to say my TP gonna be right here. I'm gonna say once it tap to this zone, so what are we expecting? We are taking this other high. So I'm gonna say right here, once you get to 3.75, I take my TP, and then my stop loss will be at this zone called 2.14, right? I'm gonna click on TP, then TP is 3.75. That is to say I'm going to be making over $176, and then my stop loss is 2.17 or 2.15 right there, right? And this is to say I'm going to be losing over $26. The reason why I'm losing this much is because I tend to use a 50x leverage, right? If I use a 10 or 15x leverage, the stop loss is going to be that low, right? All I have to do is to confirm, and then once I do that, the next thing I want to do is to hit on buy long, and once I hit on buy long, I've executed the trade. Is that easy. So if I want to modify or change some stuff, I can come right here, click on modify, and do whatever changing on my take profit or my order. Is that easy. So this is how you can enter the trade. So what we're waiting for the trade to come to that zone. Now let's say you want to enter a market order trade. I'm going to cancel this basically because I'm already anticipating this trade on my other accounts. So I'm going to cancel this and boom, I've closed that trade. Now let's say I want to enter a very straight trade. I'm going to come right here, and then let's say I still want to enter this particular one on a market order. I'm going to come here, choose market, and what's happening, I'm going to then go ahead and then slide this. So let's say I'm using $284, which is like $5 for the sake of the tutorial, or $300 for the sake of the tutorial. Then the next thing I want to do is to then go ahead and enter my TPSL. Right, in my TPSL, I could just make it 3.7, right, which is to say I'm going to be getting $151. And then my stop loss, I'm going to say I'm going to be making it 2.1, right? And that's to say I will be losing over $7, which is to say my account will as well not hold this account. So the best thing to do is to reduce your leverage and come back and as well do this the right way. 3.7, then I'm going to be making $47, and then I'm going to make this 2.2. So you can see I now have $16 from that of $67. That's what it is. So what happened if I click on confirm? I'm going to click on right here, buy long, if I want to long the trade, right? Let's say I want to long the trade, click on long, and what will happen? I've executed the trade. Is that easy, right? And what will happen? This will start reading for you, and you can see right now I'm already, on minus because already it has not gotten to our zone. Mind you, you know that this trade we're anticipating it for it to come to this zone. Once you take out this B, we buy. Right, but right now it has not come, and once you look right now, it's already on 1%. And if you're on profit and you want to see what your trade is, you can come right here, click on this icon, and boom, you're gonna see what your trade is all about. Is that easy? And let's say you've made some profit. There's something we call break even and moving stop loss. Right now, if you want me to make a detailed video how to break even and move SL, comment down below break even move SL. Right, if I see a bunch of break even move SL, I'll make a video for that. And let's say you want to close this trade. All you have to do is to just come right here, then click on close by, and what will happen? Click on confirm. Boom, I've closed the trade. Is that easy? Now, following this strategy, you can trade futures trading just by yourself without looking for who will teach you or who will guide you. Just doing the whole thing yourself, you can trade futures trading. And guys, if you enjoyed this video, all I want you to do is to like the video, comment down below what you think about the video and your question regarding this video. And that being said, don't forget to share this video to your loved ones. I will appreciate if you tend to share this video to your loved ones. And until I see you on my next video, keep winning, stay safe, and peace out.